Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Arrow Season 7. So in the most recent episode of Arrow, we had the 150th episode take place, which in my opinion at least was very good and would have made most Arrow fans happy to see familiar faces from the past return for one last hurrah in some cases. But what we also saw happen right at the end of that episode was us going into the future like we've been doing fairly regularly throughout this season, where we saw Black Star watching the documentary that was being filmed throughout that episode, with us also finding out that that documentary in question was later banned due to being, too pro-vigilante. But we also saw that she was joined by none other than Connor Hawke, aka John Diggle Jr., who also refers to her as Mia, even though we had been told previously that she was Maya. But we will come back to, that name issue later on in the video. But just quickly, as I said, we had the 150th episode of Arrow air last week, and I was going to do this last week. I honestly just forgot to put it in a video that, lined up correctly. But to honor the milestone episode of 150 episodes for Arrow, I will actually be giving away Arrow Season 6 on Blu-ray or DVD, depends what you want, whether you have a Blu-ray player or not. So to enter that giveaway, all you have to do is leave a like on the video and let me know in the comments section down below the one thing you're enjoying the most about the flash forwards. It could be a character, it could be a potential storyline that's going forward, or it could be a massive reveal, maybe like Felicity dying or something along those lines. So just let me know, your favorite thing in the flash forwards, as well as leaving a like on the video, and you're entered into that giveaway, and I'll announce it probably next weekend or maybe the week after's Arrow review. Either or, not too sure. But Katherine McNamara, the new addition to this season, who was playing Mia or Black Star, did an interview with TV Line over the past week roughly after her appearance in the 150th episode to dive into some much asked questions by viewers in regards to not just her story for this season, but also just the future flash forwards themselves, which I've enjoyed personally, but I know some people don't like them. But yeah, we will go over these questions and answers with Katherine, but be sure to let me know your various thoughts in the comment section down below in regards to all these, because there are some questions here that will bring about different opinions from people. So yeah, here we go. I understand we will be getting an all-future episode, episode 16, titled Star City 2040. We are indeed. I just finished shooting it like 2 days ago. How many bombshells are dropped in it? A lot. I have 3 fights in that episode, but there are also a lot of bombshells dropped. How many is a lot? 3? 5? Oh god, just thinking back, there are too many to count. But I'm in episode 13, 14 and 15 as well, and there are multiple bombshells dropped from this point forward. What you saw at the end of the 150th episode with Mia and Connor Hawke locating the decrepit bunker is just the beginning. It's the tip of the iceberg. Actually, this coming Monday is a huge episode for the future storyline. There's at least one massive bomb drop this Monday. So the things I've always looked forward to in the flash forwards are of course these bomb drops. The first one, the first big one I guess for this season with the future story was most likely Felicity being dead, even though that could be a fake out, which might be one of the things we learn soon enough, who knows. I guess Star City going to hell could be sent as a bomb drop, but Star City has always been a bit hellish and on its way there, so nothing really surprising there. But in regards to what this bomb drop could be specifically that is coming in episode 13 that Katherine refers to, I think it would be good if it was finding out how she relates to everyone in regards to possibly who her parents are. The early prediction was that she was the daughter of Oliver and Felicity, and that topic does come up in the next question, but it does look like that ship has sailed. I did like the theory that she was Roy and Thea's daughter, but we will talk about who she is being connected to the most of, later in a second. They could reveal some more deaths that have happened between the present and the future in this episode, specifically maybe around Diggle and maybe Lila as well, as, seeing we have Connor Hawke, aka John Diggle Jr. around. I mean, why is he calling himself Connor Hawke? He did that in Legends of Tomorrow in that future to not taint his father's memory and legacy, as he was ashamed in himself. So does something similar happen like that in this timeline? Or is Connor Hawke just a cover name, just how Mia is using the alias of Black Star? And I guess the other bomb drop that could maybe happen could be the fate of Oliver Queen. It might be too early to do that. They might not even do that at all this season. We know that they are going back to the Quiver or Arrow Bunker, whatever you want to call it, where in the present day we saw Oliver go to and basically announce that, yeah, we're going to do this again. So maybe we could get more information regarding his fate, or maybe just the fate of Team Arrow as a whole. Not whether they all die or not, just how long this vigilante team survives and how long the bunker was used after it was rebuilt. I keep trying to figure out who Blackstar is related to. Future William didn't recognize you, so you can't share parents unless something weird is at play. And I suggested to showrunner Beth Schwartz point blank, since Roy was conspicuously absent when first meeting Blackstar, she must be his daughter. But Beth said no, Roy doesn't know her. No, he doesn't. Beth's so good at keeping secrets. There are still things that I don't know that I tried to get out of her, but I can't. It's really interesting what they're doing. It's both fascinating and heart-wrenching, and it really shows how dire the world has become 20 years into the future. Which frankly has the fans a bit worried. How can we prevent this bleak future? But you can't. It's very different than the season 1 episode of Legends of Tomorrow you saw, where you saw the future of Arrow. Which is where Joseph David Jones first played Diggle's son, Connor Hawke. Exactly, this is a very different future, and it's a one that is what it is. So as I was saying before, earlier on this season I was on board the Roy and Thea daughter being Blackstar bandwagon, but here we can see Catherine reiterating what Beth Schwartz the showrunner said about Roy not knowing her, which could be a lie and them just trying to mislead us, but I guess we can only go off what we are being told. But as I was saying before, the frontrunner in regards to who Blackstar or Mia could be in regards to relation to another character on Arrow is that she is in fact the daughter of Laurel, Black Siren. If you look at Mia and Laurel, they do look fairly similar. Like, you could definitely see them being a mother and daughter combo. Mia doesn't really resemble all that much of Felicity. Like, I don't care how big of a fan of you are of Felicity. If you look at them, there's no real similarities. Like, let's be completely honest. And if you really do want to reach, you could argue Black Siren, Blackstar, fairly similar alias names. But Catherine does reiterate that this future is different from the future we saw on Legends, which I do still see people getting confused about. That Legends of Tomorrow future doesn't exist anymore. That was like a what if the Legends never return scenario in that episode. But as we know from last episode, we have a returning character from that episode, but a different version, which has been stated by a few people on the show, that being Connor Hawke or John Diggle Jr. I am interested to see what his involvement is in this season. The vibe that was given off by Mia, at least, when they entered like the decrepit Arrow bunker, was that she wasn't a big fan of what the Vigilantes did, and that they got what was coming to them. So is Connor Hawke in the same line of thinking? Like, is he anti-Daddy Diggle, or at least against what his father did? Or at least against the whole, what Team Arrow did, because maybe it led to something that happened to his father. Like, I guess they could make it that he is against it due to maybe, his father dying against it, or maybe his mother. But we are yet to find out the fate of those characters yet, which could possibly be one of those bomb drops we talked about earlier. It now appears that your character's name is Mia. That's what Connor called you, but our original casting exclusive billed you as Maya. Yep, he did say that, and that's what it was. And I think you should talk to Beth about that one. I don't know what I'm allowed to say on that subject, but I cannot wait for this Monday's episode because you see a lot more of Mia and a lot more worlds collide. A lot of these things that you're asking me, will be answered. So this isn't that new information to us, as the CW did actually release an image of Blackstar. I think it was the one, like the first one maybe, it was like another one. It might have been the second one of her like cage fighting, which actually labeled the character as Mia, M-I-A, instead of Maya, M-A-Y-A, which she had been labeled as previously. So back then that piqued my interest, and I'm sure a decent amount of other people as well that saw that. The obvious connection to make here is that she is the show's version of Mia Dearden, who is Speedy in the comics. The only issue with that is that Thea was the show's version of that. Like, Thea's middle name was even Dearden. It was Thea Dearden Queen. But this is the future. We're like 20 years roughly in the future, so I'm sure it's okay to hand over mantles like this over and have similar characters. I mean, it looks like we have like 3 Canaries or something in this future storyline, so I'm sure having another Speedy isn't that big of a deal. And that's really all that there is for this interview with Catherine. There were like 2 or 3 other questions in the interview that were just like throwaway ones that aren't really that interesting, but I will leave the interview, like the complete interview, linked in the description down below if you do want to go check out the full thing and just read all the other questions. There's like 2 or 3 or something questions I didn't read out, but yeah, I just didn't think they were worth it. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, it would be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on what we went over in this video, your various thoughts. So who do you think Mia is? Do you actually think she's the daughter of Oliver and Felicity, Roy and Thea, the daughter of Laurel, or just some random? That's the possibility. She could just be some random, no connections to any character at all, and maybe she connects in some other way, shape, or form. Maybe she's like connected to a past villain or something. That'd be pretty interesting. But yeah, let me know all of your opinions down there from what we went over in this video in the comment section down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.